Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is part 1 to our Christmas nails. So the first thing we're going to do is remove all the rhinestones, and then I'm going to go in with my e-file to remove all the gel polish. Alrighty, so I accidentally forgot to start recording earlier. So to remove her rhinestones, I just used a pair of nippers, and then to remove her polish, I am using a gold fine grit drill bit. And also she had 3 broken nails, so I did put some cotton with acetone, and then I'm soaking them now, so that's what you see on her pinky and then her 2 thumbs. Alrighty, and once you do that, you want to push back the cuticles, and this cuticle pusher I did get from Sally's. I'm not sure how much, but you can check out your local Sally's supply store if you're interested in this cuticle pusher. Also, to remove the shine from the natural nail, you want to make sure that you use the finest sanding bit that you have, because you don't want to damage their clients. Your client's natural nail. You just barely want to file anything. You don't want to leave any little rings of fires on their nail. You literally just want to remove the shine off their nail. And after we do this, we'll prime it and apply our acrylic. Alrighty, so for my primer, I am using my OPI Bondex primer, which you can find on eBay or at your local nail supply store. And once we apply the primer, we're going to start off with our acrylic. Y'all, I can't talk tonight. We're going to start off with our acrylic, and I am using a Tammy Taylor medium brush. I think it's a flat, and I'm not sure where this brush came from. I found it somewhere in my drawer, so I'll try to look for the link. I'm sure it's somewhere on eBay, so I'll look for the link and I'll leave it below if you're interested. And then, as always, I am using my Mia Secret acrylic system, which you could also find on eBay, and I will leave the link below to that as well. Alrighty, and also this is the actual speed of the application. So as you can see, I applied 1 bead closer to the cuticle area, and you just gently want to brush it down. And then I'm going to just apply a 2nd bead just to make sure that I have a good stress area. And as you can see, I gently just brush it down. You don't want to brush down too hard, because that's kind of how you make your little bumps and lumps. And then I'm just going to clean around the cuticle area, because you don't want any of that acrylic on your cuticles, because that will cause lifting. So make sure you brush out your acrylic really good. And same thing, place that bead closer to the cuticle area. You want it close enough to where it doesn't look like you still need a fill, but close enough to where it's not touching the cuticle, or it's not overlapping the cuticle. That's why you always go back and clean around it, like I said, to prevent lifting. Another thing you want to remember is you don't want to use too much product, because you'll be left with a whole lot of filing to do at the end. So remember, you always want to work smarter and not harder. Alrighty, so once you finish all your nails, you want to go back and do her repairs. So the acrylic should be soaked off for the most part. I'm just going to file off all that little soaked off pieces, and then I'm just going to prep the nails for the acrylic application. And once again, these are sculpture nails. I don't usually do sculpture nails. This is the only person that I do them on because she requested them, but other than that, I use tips for all my other clients. So it's the same process. You just want to file their nail or shape their nail, push their cuticles back, remove the shine, and then apply your form and apply your primer. So it's the same thing except for you're not using tips. You're kind of just making your own tip. And to be honest, I feel like when you sculpt the nails, they're stronger and they last longer if you do them correctly. So yeah. So whenever you're placing your forms, you want to take that little round piece off the form. You want to place it on the back of the form just to give it more stability. You want to kind of wiggle it around and place it on the nail. You want to make sure that it's really straight, because if not, then your nail will be crooked. And you also want to make sure you don't cut your client's nail all the way down, because you need that free edge for your form to go on. So first thing you want to do is place that bead right in the middle wherever the form and the natural nail meets, and then they do have numbers, so you kind of want to just go by the number however long you want it, and then they'll give you a guide for your next nail. So yeah, we're gonna place that first bead, just brush it down real good. Make sure you make it make sure that you shape it however you want to. And remember, you want to work smarter and not harder. So if you were to do, say stiletto nails, you don't want to shape your nails square when at the end you're going to shape them stilettos. So work smarter and not harder. That just made sense. You basically want to save as much time as you want. So now I'm going to place my second bead closer to the cuticle area and brush it down real gently. Remember, you don't want to brush down too hard because you don't want to remove a lot of that product, and you also don't want to create any bumps or lumps. Y'all cannot talk tonight. Sorry. And then you also want to clean really good around the cuticle area. You want to make sure that your tip is nice and thick to where it's not going to break off. And then you want to make sure you have a good stress area and a good C curve. Alrighty, so for this other thumb, we're gonna start off by applying our acrylic on the form instead of doing it on the actual natural nail. And this is just a different way to do it. They're all correct. Everybody has their own way, so whatever's easier for you, then just stick to that. So yeah, we're gonna place the acrylic on the tip and then brush up towards the nail, and then the other beads you're gonna place on the actual nail once you form your tip. Alrighty, so now we're just going to shape our nails, and this is the same process as if you were using tips. So you just want to redefine your shape. You want to make sure that you don't have any little crooked tips or anything. So once again, you're just going to reshape. We're going to file the nail, and then we're going to buff, and then we're going to apply our polish. Alrighty, so once we finish shaping the nail, we're going to go ahead and start filing. So to file the nail, I'm using my e-file, and then I'm using my same gold drill bit. I think, yeah, it's a fine gold drill bit, and the color doesn't matter. I don't know why I just said the color, but the color does not matter. They just have gold, silver, stainless, steel. They have white ones. They have all different types, so the color does not matter, but it is a fine drill bit. And to be honest, there's a whole bunch of different little bits, but this is really the only one that I use, and my sanding bit. So for beginners, they also have the little sanding bits, or not the sanding bits, but the drill bits that have like a little, I don't even know how to describe it, but I'll just leave the link below to that. It just makes it safer for when you're filing around the cuticle area. It doesn't cut them. So like I said, I'll leave the link below to that if anyone's interested. Alrighty, so whenever you're filing the nail, the most important thing that you want to focus on is that cuticle area, because you don't want to have any lifting, because then water gets under there and then you'll have green spots on your nail, and we don't want that. So make sure you file really good under, or not under, but around the cuticle area, and then also kind of just file throughout the whole nail just to make sure you don't have any bumps or lumps. But remember, if you work smarter and not harder during your acrylic application, then you won't have much filing to do. So yeah, now we're just gonna buff them to a smooth surface, and then we're gonna dust them off and have our client wash your hands, or if you want to wipe them off, and then we're gonna apply our polish. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at GetNailed32, and stay tuned for part 2 of this video.